When you first start out in DIY home improvement, there are some projects that you just shouldn't start with. But there are also some projects that you should start with. In this video, I'm going to talk about both. I'm going to start with the projects that you shouldn't start with. Building cabinets or built-ins. These projects can be extremely tempting because when you first start getting into DIY, you see all these beautiful living rooms or offices, and you're like, oh my, I really want my office to look like that. And most of them involve some sort of built-in or cabinets or something. And you might even watch some YouTube videos that show you how to do it. And they'll probably make it look really easy, but it's not. And in addition to that, there's a lot of hidden costs. It requires a lot of specialized tools. You're probably gonna need a track saw or a table saw or a router table, expensive things just to get in the door. Now, it still might end up being cheaper than buying cabinets or having somebody else build them, but in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not going to look very good if it's your absolute first project. Cabinets are tough. And there's a reason why there's cabinet builders out there. I mean, the last thing you want with your home improvement project is to end up with something that has crooked frames or doors that won't close or super crooked doors. So in the grand scheme of things, you're going to try to make a home improvement, but ultimately you're just ruining your house. But if you absolutely are determined to start with cabinets, just know that you're going into it needing to buy some stuff. Watch a bunch of my videos and learn how to use that stuff and then get started. And I would also recommend watching some YouTube videos on how to build cabinets. But then, instead of starting inside your house, start in your garage or someplace else that's a little bit more inconspicuous, so that if you do screw it up, and you probably will, it won't be that bad. And you will learn a lot. I mean, there's nothing like being baptized with fire, but at the same time, it'll be very frustrating. I wouldn't want you to start with something that's so important like your kitchen or even your bathroom. That's just a little bit too much pressure. And I would kind of say the next one would be custom closets or pantry systems. Don't try and start something like that from scratch, because you're essentially building cabinets at that point. It's, again, a lot harder than it looks. Frankly, that's something even I haven't really tackled yet. It's not because I don't think I can. It's just, it's a lot more work than you think, and they make it look really easy. And a lot of the YouTube channels that make it look easy are just installing cabinets that they had designed by somebody else. So that's not a terrible way to go, but you're not going to save very much money either by doing that. I mean, the installation is probably the easiest part. The design and building everything that goes in there is probably the hardest part. You can go with a company that will help you design your closet system and deliver it to you, and then you just install it. Maybe that'd be okay. But I would not start from scratch. Honestly, usually what I started with for DIY home improvement closet stuff was just a bunch of those wire shelves. And you can get those at Lowe's or Home Depot or Menards. You can buy those organizers there. They're not that expensive, and you can really improve your storage in your closet. Great place to start. The next thing is tiling or backsplash. Tiling is actually pretty hard. It's messy. There's a lot to it. Honestly, I made the mistake of starting with tiling as one of my first big DIY projects, but I am overly confident, so I made it work, but it was very hard. I needed to buy special tools. You'll need a wet saw. Back in the day, we used to work with concrete board. Now there's other systems that can kind of make that a little bit easier. But the problem is, if you do decide to start with tile and you don't level the floor, or you don't make sure that your gaps are all right, or the tiles aren't level from one tile to the next, it's really hard to reverse. And it's one of those projects where you kind of just wish you didn't do it. If you do a terrible job tiling, it's so hard to remove that. It's basically permanent. I mean, I think the theme for DIY home improvement projects should be that it should be something that you can do, and then if you screw it up, pretty easily take it down and try again. And tile is not one of those things. And I would kind of say the same goes with a backsplash, because if you end up not liking what you did or you screwed up, you're probably gonna have to cut out drywall and start completely over, and that's huge. They do sell things like stick-on tiles and other types of more DIY friendly tiles. They aren't really meant to be permanent or last that long, but that is kind of a neat way to spruce things up without diving in too deep. Complex furniture or furniture with drawers. So drawers appear to be easy, but they're actually pretty complicated. Installing drawer slides and even selecting drawer slides can go wrong pretty easily. And you can build a cheap drawer box, but I think it's really worth spending a little bit more time learning how to build a proper drawer box before you dive into that, because I guess I'm more of a fan of building things that are gonna last forever. Otherwise, I would just buy something from IKEA. Once you get to the level of something with a drawer, it just has a lot more meaning if you take your time and do it right. And it takes some time to learn how to do that right. You can build simple drawers, but they're not the type of thing you want to hold on to forever. And they probably will move and not fit right after a certain amount of time. I would just avoid that as a beginner project. Decks or outdoor structures. Again, this seems like this might be a good beginner-friendly project, but it's not. You gotta deal with codes, permits, you gotta dig post holes. There's safety issues if you do it wrong, especially if you build like one off of like a second story slider. And if you make a mistake, it's gonna be expensive and maybe unsafe. Sanding and staining a deck, sure, that's a perfect beginner project. Heck, even replacing decking on a deck might be a good beginner's project. But don't start from scratch and say, I'm gonna build a deck. I would say the same goes for a paver patio. That is way more complicated than you possibly could think. And the worst thing that could happen is you actually finish it, and then after a year, it's definitely not gonna be level or flat. So now that I frustrated you and talked about the things that you shouldn't try at first, let's talk about the things that are good for you to start out with. The first thing I think you should try and build is a workbench. And the reason I say that is because it teaches you a lot of things about measuring, squaring things up, basic wood joinery, and it's forgiving, and it's something you can use immediately. And if you're gonna do all those other home improvement projects, you'll probably want one. So build yourself a workbench. In fact, maybe I should make a video about building a basic workbench. Another good beginner project would be some sort of a wall-mounted tool organizer or French cleats, because who doesn't like organizing? It's a great first wall project. It's low risk, builds confidence, encourages you to organize your shop, so that's good. And I do think organization is a good first step to getting into home improvement and DIY. It kind of gets you thinking about the process and using your tools and organizing your tools. So it's a win-win. Another really good project would be a small storage box or a drawerless desk. Emphasis on drawerless. It'll teach you cutting, gluing, clamping, sanding, a lot of the basics about building things. It also teaches you patience and finishing. Finishing is a pretty important part of the project. It also kind of helps you build up your library of tools so you know what types of tools you're gonna need for what. And there's a lot of free plans out there for things like that. Anna White's a good website for free plans for building basic furniture using pocket holes. And that's a great place to start. Floating shelves. Floating shelves are cool. I still like floating shelves. I don't know if they're actually in or popular right now, but I think floating shelves are great. It teaches you about basic wall anchoring and making sure things are level. And it's great for a beginner that's just learning. Teaches you about stud spacing. In fact, it doesn't even have to be a floating shelf. It could just be a shelf. I would even simplify it down to a shelf. Definitely some of my first home improvement projects were shelves. I get really geeked out about storage though. Like, if you guys saw some of the stupid things I did just to make things a little bit neater and tidier, you'd probably think I was a weirdo. A shoe rack or an entryway organizer. It's functional, it's satisfying. It gets you building something that solves a real problem, and those are the things that are just really fun to do. By the end of it, you get to see your accomplishment, and even if it doesn't look perfect, it still has a function, so that's great. Painting cabinets, and maybe even hanging cabinets. That might sound like something that's hard, but it's actually easier. I've recently learned that I can paint cabinets pretty well with a roller. I have a spray gun, but I don't like to use it because it just makes such a giant mess. And you gotta do a lot of prep to make sure that you can spray something indoors without getting paint everywhere. So I've started buying really nice paint that's designed for rolling on cabinets essentially. Stays liquid a little bit longer so you can get a really nice smooth finish with a roller, and it turns out really good. I've painted a lot of cabinets, but I kind of took my own advice and I started with a less conspicuous area when I did this, And it gave me a lot of confidence in my painting ability and made me think, hey, maybe I can do this in my kitchen. So I may tackle a bathroom next and then maybe a kitchen. If you do want to use a sprayer, you can always bring the doors out to your shop and spray the doors and then just roll the cabinet so you don't have to make a big mess in your house. That's not a good way to go about it. And if you really are feeling confident, you could also try hanging cabinets. A lot of the big box stores will just sell cabinets, or you can order them from cabinet stores and you can hang them yourself. I added some cabinets to my laundry room that I purchased. Granted, you're not going to save a ton of money. I mean, a few cabinets was still like $1,000 because cabinets are just expensive. But it was satisfying to hang them the way I wanted to and learn about that process. And I'm sure I saved a couple $100 by doing that part myself. And it kind of gets your mind wrapped around cabinets, what they are, how to install them, how they work. So when you do get to the point where you think you can build a cabinet, you'll kind of know more about them. So these are just basic mindsets and tips for beginners that are just starting out with DIY home improvement. Basically, the main theme here is to start small and build up skill and confidence, because it's really hard to believe that you can do some of these bigger projects without the confidence. And you need those little projects first. And make sure you budget your time, because most projects take a lot longer than you think. That tile project that I did, that I talked about earlier, I took the whole week off of work and I was not done by the end of the week. It was like 10 hours a day of working hard and I was still not done. I totally underestimated the amount of work and the time it would take to do it. But I definitely learned a lot, and I learned that I probably shouldn't have started with that project. Mistakes are totally normal, and especially when you're starting out, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. Key is to pick projects that have mistakes that can be made and they can be covered up or recoverable. Start thinking like that. What type of DIY project can I do that I can try, and if I screw up, it's not the end of the world? Invest in a few basic tools, but don't overbuy, because once you get into your first few projects, you'll start to realize what you actually do need, and then you'll just buy them as you need them. Well, that's all I have for you guys in this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a comment and let me know what your first DIY project was. Also, if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps on my channel and costs you nothing. I have lots of great beginner-friendly playlists and videos, so please head over to my channel and check those out. I'll see you guys in the next one.